And starting again. What's up?
I said, oh, didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All right. You boys ready?
Always.
Ready.
Sweet. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Downright Fierce Gaming, America's master ball of podcasts. My name is Josh Asensio. With me is, as I point to Jacob.
That's so bad. It's a little worse. My name is Jacob Plug. I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm the king of the Winter Duval. Hello.
And
Christopher Donald Stanton.
so
No one sighs better than Christopher Donald Stanton. Let me fucking tell you what.
when he sighs, it's like
Don't talk about my size. I'm very self-conscious about that.
it's like a cool wind is hitting me in the face every sigh. Like it's so nice.
I do have a lot of cool wind.
It's true.
Oh my god.
So, as you could probably tell already, we're doing something a little different. We're doing a Google Hangout, so I don't have to do another episode by myself, which I had nightmares about. I'm sure you guys didn't watch it, but it was bad. It was pretty bad.
I wasn't on it, so I didn't watch it.
Naturally.
Thanks.
So, I'm going to try to balance... Oh, god damn it. I thought I'd turn that on silent. I'm going to try to balance... hosting, switching screens so that way we can see each member, and just a lot of things. And it's gonna be shitty, like everything else in this podcast is, except for these two joining me.
This is what. One, you're right, and two, this is what they come here for. So.
This is you knew.
At least we started recording on time and didn't show up 2 hours late to a wedding.
Wow, you've been waiting to do that one for fucking 10 minutes.
A week.
I have it actually for 30 seconds. It just popped in my brain.
Fuck you. I've never been.
All right, so boys, there's a little bit of a delay, so it's gonna require some luck to do a fierce news. I know, Chris, you're just gonna stare at the screen, smoking your cool e-cig, but Jacob, you ready to do this, bud?
Yeah, because I wasn't supposed to do this ever again, so let's do it.
So let's do it. Let's do it. Ready? It's time for Fierce News. Oh fuck! The way I switched the scenes, the way I kept going back with us and then staying on Chris for a while with his face just staring at the camera. For our audio listeners, already, I'm sure you've already turned this off by now because it probably sounds terrible. Just watch the video. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
On silent.
That's the best way, as usual. So Fierce News is, of course, brought to you by MC Lars. Please check out his Patreon at patreon.com/MCLars. So first, I have a question for you boys. Have you guys... I know, actually, it's a rhetorical question for Jacob. It's a real question for Chris. What is your interest in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? Zero?
Audio listeners, Chris shrugged.
It leaves me. It literally leaves me speechless. I can't even think of anything to say about it.
So I know you don't have a Switch, but if you had a Switch, would you be on the hype train that is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee?
Not even remotely. No.
No. Okay. So
I'm
Jacob,
not excited about the movie. I'm not excited about anything Pokemon related. Sorry.
So Jacob, how far are you? Actually, first, which one did you pick?
Eevee is the correct answer.
No, it's not. Because Pikachu is Bay.
It's over. It's time for the new generation.
The new generation, they're part of the same generation, Jacob. Pikachu is Bay.
Today?
Wow. Yeah, exactly that. I haven't picked it up yet because I'm busy playing the Spider-Man DLC as well as I need to pick up. I'm also playing, which I'm sure we'll get to. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, amongst other things, and so I haven't picked it up yet. But Eevee will be the one I pick up. I'm super hyped about it. I just haven't play it yet.
So that is actually a little shocking that you haven't picked it up, because this first news thing is that it has both Pikachu and Eevee, the versions, whatever, have become the fastest selling Nintendo Switch titles since the console's launch. For perspective, Zelda sold 1.3 million copies in the first 28 days. Super Mario Odyssey sold 2 million in 3 days. But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee sold 3 million in 1 week. So here's what I wanted to talk about with that. How much of an advantage, because obviously, yes, it's an advantage, how much of an advantage do they have with 2 SKUs?
Always, it's funny because, like, growing up, I always thought it was a terrible idea. But that's because I didn't buy both or didn't really understand the whole business behind it and how kind of competitive it gets, especially when you have exclusive Pokemon and to interact with each other to get all 150 or 250 or whatever based off of where or how many Pokemon there are. So I don't think it really adds anything to the numbers picking, because every one of those people would have bought anyway. Clearly, huge Pokemon fan, and so I don't know if there's an advantage. I mean, there are definitely people that have, because they're, collectors, but it's very small. I don't think it affected the number very much, if at all.
Well, I mean, okay, so real quick, I mean, yeah, I agree. I don't think that the number of people who bought both would be that big, but consider the fact that it's even if you so with the 2 SKUs, my main focus was even the people who aren't buying, both SKUs, because I mean, there's only 11 Pokemon that are in one that are in the other. Right. Majority of gamers, are younger. They're younger kids. And I don't know about you guys, but when I got Pokemon Red, I was trying to convince my friends, like, hey, you should buy Blue. You should buy Pokemon Blue. This game's amazing. And deep down I'm thinking, like, I want to get those Pokemon that I can't get normally. And I'm definitely not saying that, there's nobody who's buying both. There's absolutely some people who are buying both. But I think it's mostly just the suggestion thing. It's the, I'm going to buy one, and now you have a salesperson who's trying to sell the other game, basically.
Yeah. But I think now, back then, because of course it was very new and very cool, but I think the majority of people that are buying it are people like us that are like super like fans of Pokemon, or people like kind of putting their toe into the water. Because it was so funny because like Pokemon Red and Blue was like very much like baby's first JRPG, and now apparently even like little like the infant level, even under that, the terrible 2, this is actual like someone in like 6 months, 3 as or toddler clothing.
Yeah.
I have no, so bear with me as I decide about what anecdotes I want to say on the fly. But I'm not surprised by the success. I think like there's a very small niche of people that were like, no, we just want the new Pokemon game when that comes out in whatever 2020 or whatever it's going to be. It proves that Nintendo, and as I wear a Nintendo hoodie, it proves that they know what the fuck they're talking about, and it really breathes new life into it. And I've watched a few gameplay videos of it, and man, like I can't wait to dive in when I have a little more time. It looks awesome.
Well, I mean, they're also kind of, and I'm sorry, Chris, I know we're not giving you a lot to talk about yet, but what they're also doing with this, with this game, particularly this game, not even the new one, is that they're hitting that nostalgic nerve, because it's basically Pokemon Yellow. That's all this game is. It's Pokemon Yellow with a couple of new extra stuff. So they're hitting the nostalgic nerve. Those are the factors I think that really factored into the sales. A little bit the fact that there's 2 SKUs, but mostly it's like you were saying, it's a new Pokemon game. Like, I mean, you were also saying that there's another new Pokemon game coming out, but it's scratching that itch in the meantime. I mean, the new Pokemon game is going to be pretty much this, but in a new region with new cool stuff that you could do and more, whatever, 1 billion Pokemon that you can catch. But it's a Pokemon game it's a next-gen Pokemon game on a next-gen console.
Exactly. And even to add to that, like, you can talk smack about, and I do, about Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2.5 and 2.8. It literally did the exact same thing. It scratched the itch, and people bought the fuck in. Whether that was a smart move or not, but it made them money, so I guess they were right.
I am so glad, and I'm scrolling down, so I can't go back to my camera yet because I have to scroll down. All this news is all the way at the bottom. God damn it! Hold on, hold on, hold on. There it is. Okay, so I'm so glad that you mentioned Kingdom Hearts 3.
Man, Chris is not even going to be on this podcast at all.
Important to say, actually.
Oh, okay. What's up?
In your cereal. So those numbers to me are not impressive. I do think they are inflated because of 2 SKUs. But if you think about it this way. So Zelda sold 1.3 million in 28 days. If you look at software attach ratio, Zelda actually sold more units than consoles were sold. There were 1.3 million units of Zelda sold in the first month, and there were less consoles sold. Never happened. When Mario came out at 2 million or whatever in the time frame it was, there were obviously more consoles on the market. As of September of 2018, there are 23 million
22.
Switches. 22.9, so let's just round up. 23. Let's say they sold 100,000 in the last 48 days. But my point is, like, 1 or 2 out of 10 people that own a Switch bought this game, whereas you're talking about more than everyone with Zelda, and probably at least 6 or 7 out of 10 in regards to Mario. And when you compare that to things like, say, Spider-Man or God of War or whatever on other consoles, you're talking 6 or 7 attach ratio as opposed to 1 or 2 out of 10 at your advantage. So I don't think the number is super impressive. I think it's neat, but I think that
it's in 1 week though. I mean, it's in 1 week.
What else do they have though?
Fair.
The ultimate problem with Nintendo is, like, literally, if I were to get a Switch, said this, it's been out almost 2 years now, I would buy a game I already own, a game I already own, a game I've already bought, and Mario. Like, literally, it would be. I mean, like, I get Smash Brothers for the boys. Already bought it for the Wii, and I bought it twice on the 3DS. It's the same game.
Right.
I've bought Breath of the Wild twice for the Wii U. I bought Mario Kart twice for the Wii U. Just, again, I think it's scratching the itch of a heroin addict who hasn't had heroin in 6 months.
I mean, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I see your point. And the argument, I think, is, like, if it's a system seller or not, right? And I think that perspective, there's kind of a situation where I think people that are buying Pokemon have already owned the Switch. Like, I mean, me personally, for example, I'm very curious to see how the bundles that are coming out now and through will kind of see what those numbers look like, because if those numbers are decent or high, that completely disproves your point. Honestly, to add to Josh's point, it's too fucking early for that shit.
No, I completely agree. I think Nintendo should be releasing new, not remakes, not HD versions, not a couple more characters or a couple more tracks, or they should be releasing new AAA titles, because they literally have been preaching to the choir for years. They literally have more in video game history than anyone still has.
Yeah.
AAA titles that 6 or 7 out of Switch users or owners are going to buy. You know, I saw this commercial for some Star Fox game. I knew nothing about it until I literally saw it. Yeah, where you, like, put toys together. Cool, that looks neat. It's totally geared towards kids. That's fun. But, like, I'm not going to go buy a Switch for it. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just not.
They don't have system sellers. I mean, that's a good point. It's absolutely an opinion that is shared even with Switch owners. You know, that's why everybody's on this whole pets campaign, you know, port everything to Switch, because there isn't a good library. It's not. I mean, that's just a hard fact. And I think you're right in that people are latching on to anything and just happy that anything is coming to, you know, this console. I mean, personally, the Switch is my favorite console ever released, but it's not my favorite for games. It's my favorite device. You know, like it's no PS4. You can't even compare it to a PS4, yet the device is what really sits with me. So I think you're right. I mean, I think that it is also latching onto that. Although, as a Pokemon fan, I really latch on to this game. I think that it is still a fantastic game. System seller, I'll tell you this: if Zelda and Mario didn't come out, I would buy a Switch for this.
100%, absolutely, me too, without question.
But we're Pokemon fans, so
exactly, we were gonna buy it anyway.
Before we segue into something else, if we were to talk, just to briefly talk about holiday bundles, PS4 with Spider-Man for $199 is stupid. That's like the stupidest deal I've seen.
Like, are you saying like stupid, like yo, it's cool, like fat with a PHAT?
That's good. Like a mutual friend of ours bought it, who has a 500 gig PS4, doesn't have Spider-Man, and went, instead of buying Spider-Man, I'm just going to buy this bundle.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Again, like that's like the $299. The $299. Everybody had the $299 Mario Kart Switch bundle, but GameStop had one with a $50 gift card. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, well, that's a good deal, and that would entice someone to buy a Switch more than any of those other deals. But still, it's like still getting a game that me personally already have. But get one eventually. I would love to have a reason to buy one, and right now, like, my only reason to buy one would be to have it, and the screen would be full of snot and cracked within a week.
Right.
Well, you can get a special Switch like I did.
Yeah, I don't buy that. You know me. I don't subscribe to that.
I know. I remember that that debate we talked for a long time about having that never did.
I mean, doesn't Smash have its own bundle as well?
Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't even need to check that. I'm sure it does.
Everybody had a Black Friday deal of a $299 Switch load of Mario Kart, and GameStop's was also a $50 gift card on top of that, which is strong. You get a Switch, and you can essentially get another game for the price of Switch. You get 2 games essentially, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do need to move along to. Oh wait. Well, I was gonna. Damn it. Okay. Hey, Jacob, say Kingdom Hearts 3 again.
Kingdom Hearts 3 again.
Well, speaking of Kingdom Hearts 3, we have some simultaneously upsetting and uplifting news. Square Enix has confirmed that Kingdom Hearts 3 has officially completed development.
Look at this, hater. We gone gold, bitch.
So, okay, well, here's my beef with it. You already gave us a release date. I understand that happens all the time in the games industry. I get that. Like, you gotta get ahead of, the schedule. Things aren't going according to plan. You say, okay, we're gonna release it on this day, and 7 times out of 10 they meet that day. It's fine. But this has been like going on for what, like 14 goddamn years, and they set the release date already. Like, you already said it was coming out. I assumed that meant the game was done.
Hold on. To use Chris's point, I'm gonna shit in your cereal, Mr. Asensio. Newly married Mr. and Mrs. Asensio. This is every game. There's always a release date confirmed, and then the game goes gold. So get off your soapbox. I know this is your podcast and shit, so chill out.
Okay.
I know y'all big and bad, Mr. Married and shit, but chill out, my dude.
This is a game.
This is our podcast.
Look
at me. This is our podcast now.
I'm the captain.
Captain now.
I'm the captain. No, okay, but I get it. I know this is how the industry works. But when you have a game that's been delayed, that has been, just whatever for 14 goddamn years, maybe because things happen. That's why we get delays. That's why we get all that. Maybe just respect the fans and wait until you have a completed project and then announce release date. I mean, is that really that crazy?
Yes, for this game, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I concur.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I'll just.
Fuck you, Virginia.
All right. Well, here's what Tetsuya Nomura tweeted. He said, "Quote: I'm proud to unveil the extended version of the trailer that's playing in North America cinemas. And guess what? We've wrapped up development of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you haven't had a chance yet, now would be a good time to prep by playing 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8. See you next month." Okay.
I mean, every other form of media that you take in does the same exact thing. A band says our album's coming out on this date, and it hasn't been mixed yet. Movie you've ever heard of, Same thing.
I know, but I'm just saying maybe a little bit more care when you have a thing that's been pushed back so many times, you know. But I'm clearly the one who's wrong. I'm willing to accept that. Oh, speaking of wrong.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was such good timing to pan over to you, Chris. Are you excited?
Yeah, I owe you money, don't I?
No. You owe me
Tonight?
something that is better than money. You owe me a date. Because you said that the Nintendo 64 mini whatever was going to come out at some point. It doesn't even matter when it was going to come out because they
I said it would be announced by October 31st.
okay. And you know what you could have said they're going to, whatever it. But it turns out that they said that they have zero plans for that anytime soon. That was reported on last week by yours truly, and I just can't wait for our date. I'm so excited for our date.
Where you guys
We can
gonna go?
we can play that new shitty Pokemon Switch game if you want. That's fine.
If you record that, I would love that, please.
I'm so happy. It's 2-player, Chris. We can play it together.
Oh my god.
I might catch a Floggly Glorp and I might not even know it. So
Oh my god, I would love to catch a floppity glorp with you so much. I knew you knew that game, that you knew what a floppity glorp was.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
seriously, like, Jonathan the other day was trying to name some of the Pokemon, and he named Pikachu and Charizard, and I was like, he's like, I don't know if I know any other ones, and I was like, what about Floggity Glorp? And he's like, yeah, him, and like, you just made that up. You don't even know. You ain't real.
Your son is way cooler than both Jacob and I combined. So
I don't know about that, but all right.
Oh, I know about that right now. I'll go wake his ass up.
No. All right, let's move on. Whoops, cameras. Oh God, cameras. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's move on to something else that happened.
Wow, great segue, Josh. You're the
Thanks.
fucking man.
All right,
You're
so
awesome.
although everyone basically knew this, we have reports from current and former Blizzard employees that Diablo 4 is currently in development. Speaking of which, I beat Diablo 3 on my Switch, and it was so cool. I loved it. Now, there's little bits in this news that I'm not sure if it's news. I'm not sure if it's just I didn't know about this. Maybe you guys can chime in on this. First thing is Diablo 4 is being developed under the code name Fenris, Fenris. And maybe, I don't know. The bit that may or may not be news is that that this is a following to a second expansion. This is a following. Let's try those words again. This is following a canceled second expansion to Diablo 3 that was originally going to follow Reaper of Souls, and that there was another Diablo project that was canceled called Hades. Did you guys know about this?
Negative.
No, Chris.
No,
Okay.
Hades gonna.
I think like the problem is for me is like I did not like Diablo 3. I'm on record for having beaten the game blackout drunk, getting a refund
That's
from
right.
from Blizzard, then purchasing it again when the Reaper of Souls or whatever the hell came out on PS4 edition. Because I had not played it, but I still win because I still net gained $30. So it was all good.
There you go. And we lost Chris somehow, but he said that was going to happen, right?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so Fenris Diablo 4 has reportedly been in development since 2016, and although the report suggests all those involved in the project are optimistic about its progress, it's still not expected to release until 2020 or later. The team working on Fenris is also apparently deciding whether or not to change its perspective from isometric to third person over the shoulder. And now this was apparently going to be the style that they were going to go with Hades. Hades was going to be a departure from the typical isometric stuff, and they were going to go more Dark Souls. It was like Diablo meets Dark Souls, which is already kind of Diablo-esque.
Right. I'd be okay with it. There'll of course be people that will poo-poo over this, but I will throw back at them the fact that Fallout 2 and Fallout 3 were very different games, and
That's a good point.
for the better. So folks out there that are poo-pooing on that, I say hold your fucking horse because you haven't seen anything yet. One, and two, a move norm is sometimes very good for most of the time. I can't think of a scenario where it hasn't really gone well. And Fallout 3, as most people know, was Game of the Year contender and pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you that could be a good game. I wouldn't say that needs to be the new standard, though. That shouldn't be a Diablo 4. Like, that'd be cool for a spin-off, but for an actual, like, Diablo 4, you gotta keep it isometric.
Why?
Well, I mean,
you could, to my point, you could take Diablo out and have the same conversation about Fallout, and you'd be wrong, right?
No. I mean, I get you, but like you're complete, and I guess I'm kind of feeding your point right now. Like it completely defeats the purpose of Diablo, that it's a dungeon crawler. If you make it a if you make it a Dark Souls kind of game, then it's just a different game. Which I understand that's your argument with Fallout, but if you can have both, why not just have both? Because that's what they were planning on anyways.
It worked for GTA.
Oh God! Oh, he's back. Okay, there he is.
What did you say earlier, Chris?
I said it worked for GTA. The first two were completely top down and not even kind of, and they were like decently reviewed, I guess. I don't know.
They were well reviewed. They were well reviewed. But here's the thing, though. I mean, with that, it still embodies the soul of GTA. You're still doing the same things, but in a 3D world. I'd even say that you can argue that with Fallout, but if you're going from a isometric dungeon crawler to a third-person, extremely difficult, have to watch every little, motion that you do, that's a completely giant departure from the series. The only thing that's the same is the name.
I mean, it really depends, right? Because if they do take on that challenge, they have to nail the feel of it, right? Which I think is why the changes to Fallout and the changes to Grand Theft Auto were so successful. Is they felt fresh while also being familiar. So I think it's an interesting move and not really surprising to your earlier point. Just have to see what happens when we get some more gameplay trailers and stuff.
Well, so
I had to take a pee and a beer break. That's why I left.
Okay.
So
I saw a little late.
yeah.
Sorry, I have to keep going back and forth. Okay, so one current employee suggests the game will go back to a more Diablo 2-like feel. He said, quote, "There's a lot of people who felt like Diablo 3 got away from what made Diablo, in terms of art style and spell effects." Another employee said, quote, "They want to make this gross, make it dark, remove anything that was considered cartoony in Diablo 3, make what people were afraid of in Diablo 2, but modern." So quick personal opinion, maybe it was because I was younger, like a lot younger when Diablo came out versus Diablo 2, but I feel like Diablo was way darker, way scarier, this kind of feel that they're talking about, than Diablo 2. Am I crazy?
No, you're not. I agree 100%.
Okay. So why, I mean, I understand that Diablo 2 is more of a success, but the first Diablo, like, I felt like in danger when I was going through that cathedral. Like I felt like the one wrong move, like kind of like a Dark Souls feel. Like I feel like that was scary for me.
Yeah, the pretty iconic butcher fight, the first boss in Diablo, being terrifying for a 9 or 10-year-old me, and Diablo 2 never scared me at all. So I think that'd be fun for it to go back to, add some horror to the bad boy.
Yeah. Chris, did you ever play Diablo?
No. I played the demo for 3, and I played it for about 7 minutes, and I did not like it.
I'll tell you, it's a great game for Switch. It really is. Like, it is the perfect game for Switch. It just the ability to jump in and jump out of that game. That's the platform to play it on, I feel.
I can do that.
Yeah. So let's see. So last bit on Diablo 4 is that Fenris is that there were reports that there were plans throughout 2018 to announce the game. One source said, quote, "In January, they were still full set on, we're going to do this right, we're going to have a playable demo. By the time we'd hit May, that game wasn't far enough along. It's normal problems, things going slower than they'd like." So I don't think that the rumors about, oh, Blizzard, they pulled it last minute from BlizzCon. A lot of people are saying that Blizzard, typically when confronted with a rumor like that, companies just clam up. They don't say anything if it's true, but they flat out said nope, that's not what happened. So I believe that that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out later that all the hype that they were trying to say for BlizzCon, that they're like, oh yeah, we've got some exciting Diablo stuff coming out of BlizzCon, that originally that was going to be Diablo 4, then for whatever reason they pulled it. Am I crazy on that? I mean, does that make sense?
I mean, I think people are, especially nowadays, they just want to be better out of shape because it feels like that's the way that they should. I I think it's more of a situation of live and let live. Blizzard, you can argue, has done a lot of things over the years, but if anything, at a very base level, they've gained the ability to have that face value and ask for that good faith because they've done some really cool fucking shit over the years. So everybody else can calm the hell down.
So you're fine with the whole announcement that they made of the mobile game?
Absolutely, 100%. Because at the end of the day,
everybody has a phone, right?
Right. That was bad. That was not well thought out and clearly not PR approved, right? But that was very spur of the moment. But I think at the end of it all, they announced what they announced. You vote with your wallet and you move on. You don't have to fucking spout how disappointed you are and cry on Twitter because guess what? You're still probably going to buy what they send you anyway.
It's a good point. Good point. All right. Let's see.
Great point, Jacob. Great point. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm winning. Winning the podcast. I'm winning the podcast.
Totally. And I'm losing by going to the wrong cameras at the wrong times.
Hey, beta, baby.
All right, so the next thing is Microsoft is making more strides to be the powerhouse I've been predicting they will be next generation by acquiring Sunset Overdrive director Drew Murray. Murray will be joining Microsoft's new first-party development studio, The Initiative. He also worked on Ratchet & Clank and Resistance. Mark my words, I will pizza bet anybody right now. Come next-gen consoles, Microsoft will have the best lineup out of all the other consoles. Who wants to take that pizza bet?
Well, I mean, that's a subjective bet. I mean, the best. I mean,
I believe that most people will look at that and be like, yeah, Microsoft won. Just the way that we're looking at Sony and being like, oh, dude, you're winning because of God of War. You're winning because of Spider-Man. You win. Sony wins.
No, I don't. I mean, Sony's been in the lead for
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean,
so you don't think you don't think that Microsoft is? You disagree with me then that Microsoft will not be able to take over Sony next gen?
Not in one gen. Nope.
Not in one gen?
I think
no.
I think when you say best, I think that they'll have a very robust. Even it's possible for them to have a more robust lineup, like for example, a more robust exclusive lineup. But they still got to sell some motherfucking systems first. So that's really where it comes down to.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that it's going to be the lineup like for opening week. It's going to be why can't I think of the word? It's
launch titles.
Launch titles. Thank you. It's going to be launch titles. Yeah, launch titles for the Xbox. You're going to look at their launch title lineup and you're going to be like, Microsoft, here they come.
But you can only say that though because of the fact that they're coming from behind and they have to do all the legwork. Like with that conference, which you can argue was it successful or not. I don't really know if it was because outside of I can't think of anything that I still would buy an Xbox for. So they've got a lot of work to do, which is why they're getting out in front of it and saying these are the things that we're doing.
I don't think launch titles was the thing back in the Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox days anymore, man. It just doesn't. And like Nintendo proved that. How sexy was the PlayStation 4 launch lineup? It wasn't. That's the answer. Like it just, I mean, Killzone Shadows Fall. Okay, cool. It looks great, but like, I think it's just more of it's for Jacob will understand this analogy. It's kind of like WrestleMania. Like and go to WrestleMania and watch it, regardless of what the card is. You don't even need to know what matches there are. It's just like, well, it's this. I'm going to spend money on it, and like so. Microsoft is just so Sony has at their disposal, and I know I've preached about Spider-Man over and over, but like Sony has the foresight to go, okay, time was like done after 3. Uncharted 4 is winding down. Yeah, we've got Last of Us, and that's on its way up, and legs that has. But we really need like another system-selling AAA title that's going to blow everybody's minds.
Death Stranding,
and it's like the.
I'm being facetious, but I do kind of believe that a little bit.
But it's not even remotely. It's literally like going into my closet and just picking a really nice guitar out and going like, oh yeah, I can make a game out of this. And I mean, like Sony has so many things. Like Sony could make a Venom game tomorrow that could be a 9.5 out of 10, and it would just crush everybody. Microsoft doesn't have that. Oh, what do we do, guys? They got a bunch of dudes in a room scratching their balls, going like, oh, let's make another Halo game. Like they don't have IPs. They don't have access to it. They don't have
Sony's the initiative. That's what the initiative is for. They're building a studio full of super talented people that worked on super amazing games to make these new IPs.
3 console gens later, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I just they don't. That's cool. That's neat. But you still have to have access to just go, this is what we're going to do, and there it is. I mean, there's, I don't know. Microsoft just does not have that. There's nothing, in my opinion, that Microsoft, unless they can't think of anything, unless Microsoft like got the rights to was like or something like that, and was like,
wait,
this
you broke up there. Unless they got the rights to what?
Like say Lord of the Rings or something,
Okay.
or huge property, and they were like, okay, this is the ultimate. If they made like a Spider-Man version of Lord of the Rings where it's like, this is the ultimate, you feel like you're in Middle Earth.
I mean, that already exists. That's Shadow of War.
I don't agree. I think those games suck.
It's not exclusive though.
What?
Oh, it wasn't an exclusive either.
Not, but it's also I just don't like it personally. And you know, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I just don't like those. People say, oh, it's like Batman, but you're Lord of the Rings. It's not to me at all. It plays like shit. It's not fun. It's a character that I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Like you give me a better playing Shadow of War, but I'm like Aragorn throughout the entire trilogy the whole time.
Funny thing is spoiler alert, you do know who it is. You just don't know that you know.
Well, I'm not gonna play through 2 games to like figure that out. Like I literally like Brandon for the first one. I played it for like an hour and I was bored senseless. I didn't get what was going on with the story. Demo for the second one, and I played the demo for about 10 minutes, and I was like, these controls are awful. I feel like I'm ice skating. It was awful, and like it just like I pick up a Sony exclusive, as in like Spider-Man or Uncharted or Last of Us, or just keep going.
Right.
And it's just well, there you go. I bow down to you. God of War. Like, I'm done. I'm done. You know.
They need the firepower. They don't have it, or the ammunition, like say a company like Blizzard or Nintendo has.
Honestly, like I played, you know, when I bought my Xbox One last year, and I literally bought it just to replay the Halo games and play the ones that I hadn't played. Finish 4 and to play 5, and I did, and it was fun. But like I'm playing 5, and I'm like,
5 is awful.
Well, so here's the thing, like story, like I gave up on the Halo story years ago. It's awful, but it was at least like fun. It was like, okay, this is cool. That's fun, even though I'm playing through as Master Chief for about 30% of the game. But like even that, like I'm like, this is like when this came out, this is the best Microsoft had to offer. Like it should be like this is Halo. Here you go. This is what we've got, and and it was like, okay, it's like an 8.5 out of 10 game, and that's being generous, Whereas again, like Sony could fart, and it's okay, well, that's the best smelling fart I've ever smelled in my life.
Not a
I do want to point something out, Chris. That one of the go-to games you've been saying is Spider-Man. Do you like this game, Spider-Man, that came out for the PlayStation 4? Do you like this game?
I really like Spider-Man a lot. Why?
A lot. Okay, so I don't know if you heard the news that I just shared, but the director of Sunset Overdrive is now part of the initiative. Are you familiar with Sunset Overdrive?
Of course, a Microsoft exclusive.
The studio that made Sunset Overdrive,
it's Spider-Man.
It made Spider-Man. So if anybody is going, I mean, you now have the guy who, I don't know how much he had to do with the making of Sunset Overdrive as far as like making that traversal feel really good, but
counterpoint.
Yeah.
Name me the main character in Sunset Overdrive.
I haven't played it. I'm gonna buy it because I'm super excited because it just came to PC. I'm gonna play it.
It's irrelevant though. It's irrelevant. IP. It's irrelevant. No one's gonna like you could literally have the same exact Spider-Man game, but the character's name is Jabroni Jenkins and he's wearing something else. Like it doesn't matter. Like no one's gonna buy it. But it's like, and that's like that. Like that's what it looks like when I'm swinging as Spider-Man. I'm all in. I'm sold.
Okay, well, if they get the IP, then if they and yeah, they're gonna have to fork over a little bit more money to get some super IP.
Name an IP though.
Okay,
name an IP, and that's my thing. Like the thing with Microsoft is that they don't have access to those things. Go.
I got it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Great.
Boom.
No, you're right. No. Absolutely. If they made now, I don't know that it would sell as well as Spider-Man. I think that would be more of a Nintendo.
But a game where you really feel like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as you're traversing through the city.
Yep. If there was a game on the Switch right now that was a Switch exclusive that was Spider-Man-esque, felt like that was that as good as that, I'm buying a Switch tomorrow, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's called Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah. Get on it. Do it. All right. Let's see. What else do we got here? We got. Okay. So real quick, I'm just gonna read this exactly as I wrote it. So real quick, It's super annoying to keep covering the story, so I'm just going to read the highlight and then we're moving on. Skybound has announced that it and previous team members of Telltale Games have officially resumed development efforts on the final season of Walking Dead. That's it. That's all. That's it. It's news. It's news. It's cool. I'm excited to maybe one day play this.
No one's gonna rush to buy it, right? Which is so unfortunate, right? 4 episodes long. I'm not super sure on that.
I think it's 5.
Is it 5? And it sucks, man, because like I was super hyped about it, and then everything fell apart. They're ripping across the finish line, and not many people are gonna buy that game. So I feel kind of like I appreciate Skybound falling on their sword to finish the story, but they're not gonna make any money or really gain. I don't think race because they're doing it. They're doing it because they have a heart, I guess. So. I don't know.
I'm sure there's some money to be made, but we've been talking so much about Telltale. It's enough about Telltale. That's also all the news. That's all the news that I had. If you guys wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been playing, what I've been playing, I finished Diablo 3. It is a lot of people Jacob, you were saying you didn't like it. I loved it, but I think that I loved it because it was on the Switch. I feel like I would not have enjoyed the repetition of that game anywhere else because the fact that I play my Switch when I'm incredibly bored, like I bring that with me and I play it on the go. I very rarely play it, docked. So the fact that I can play a game like that has a fun gameplay loop on the go is why I liked it so much. Maybe, I don't know.
That's fair, I think. And that could, if I had played it on the first time on the go, maybe I'd feel a little different. At the time, I remember, if I recall correctly, it was the only game that I was playing, so it was just something to kind of complete. And at that point, I think I was like, well, if I don't finish it, I won't get my money back if I hate it. And I was like halfway through the game, and I'm like, I don't like this completionist, and then I got super drunk and beat it.
Nice.
I'm playing Everybody's Golf,
Oh, I heard about that one.
which is a lot of fun.
That's really
I love the Hot Shots golf games. I like golf games in general. But those are fun. I'm also selling my copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 if anybody wants to buy it. And
Really?
That's about it.
Is it you find the game boring, correct? Like too much ultra realism?
So the short version is it was a and it's not the game's fault. It was a big mistake for me playing Spider-Man consistently for 2 months.
Yeah.
Put that game in because it would be like listening to death metal and then throwing in Coldplay.
All right, here's the question though: Have you spanked a horse's ass yet? Because
No.
you know you can do that. You can do that. It's possible.
You know what? I retract my offer to sell it. That's worth the $60 in and of itself. No, it's beautiful. It's huge. It's immersive.
Wait, we're not talking about my dick here. We're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh!
Bam.
Yeah.
Bam.
But as I was telling Josh on the phone last week, like he's like, "Oh man, I love just like waking up in the morning and making coffee and having to like make coffee and like look around the camp and wonder what everybody's up to and like my thing is like I'm looking at it and going, yeah, that's great. What I love doing is seeing something that's 20 feet away there in 3 seconds, not take 5 minutes to get there. It's just so slow. It's just deliberately like. I get it. If people want to read books that take you 10 chapters to get into anything remotely interesting, that's their thing.
Well, I mean, I hold on. I like your comparison to the books though, because it's exactly like different styles of books. So you can have the Stephen King book or not. Let's say John Grisham or whatever, or I don't know, some actiony thing where things are constantly happening, or you can have Walden, who goes on 20 pages about a fucking bush, and that's not to say that one is better than the other. It's just that, Walden's better.
Books like that suck. I'll say it. It's just.
You never talk shit about Walden. You watch your fucking mouth about Walden. Don't you fucking talk to me about Walden. You didn't go in the woods for 2 years, 22 days, and 2 hours, or whatever the fuck it was.
Henry David Thoreau was very thorough, if you know what I mean. So, no, look, it'll probably be a game that I come back to in a year or two to be like, all right, let's give it another fair shake. I literally I played it for like 5-6 hours the first weekend. I had it, okay, and then like a day or two, and I was like, okay, let's get back in and see. And I played it for probably like another 2 hours, and like literally there was nothing that grabbed me whatsoever. If anything, it was just like that's that far away, or I got to go into this town to do this, and again, like the dialogue on the way in the town's great, and everything's great, but then you get to the town, and it's like, hey there, Sally, you go up that building. I'm gonna walk over here and talk to this guy. Hey man. You want some money? You give him money or you kill him? I'll give you money. Mission complete. Okay. That took 45 minutes out of my life. And there was nothing. Meanwhile, swinging through the city and solving 17 crimes in 3 minutes and feeling like a badass, and it's fun, and it's, I don't know. And Rand.
And Rand. That's fair.
And Rand is good too.
Oh no,
that's another really long one.
Anyway, so I've been playing. I've been playing Spider-Man still. thought that I would be tired of Spider-Man. Like, as most people know, I have a very large Spider-Man tattoo on my leg. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero by far. It's so much fun to swing around New York City. Holy shit. Amazing game. DLC is fun, only that it's like different shit. Like, I think
So I haven't played the DLC. Like, can you walk me through what the experience is like? Is it like New Game Plus with different missions? Is it like extending the game?
Well, it's interesting because like it's its own sandbox in a way. Because like there's not like a trigger to start the DLC like within the existing map. For example, you start the DLC and it just DLC. So the DLC is like standalone. Like for a perfect example is it's very high speed and it's based around the character the Black Cat. Though is like you spent a large part of the campaign trying to find her, right? But you don't have to find her to unlock the DLC, which actually would have made more sense to me. It's completely standalone, completely different. I haven't played number 2 yet, but I do know it's like about Hammerhead and like the Mafia.
How long is it? Because what I'm planning on doing is getting all of them and then just playing them all at once. That way, I feel like I'm getting to play. And so what you're saying is like you start the DLC, and it's standalone in the way that like I haven't solved. Like because right now I'm like 89% of the way through the game. So you can't keep completing the game while you're doing the DLC.
Like you can do your backpack and do your you can like do the pictures for the different landmarks, for example. But you don't see your Taskmaster. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Taskmaster. In the DLC, there are without spoiling anything, there are challenges in the DLC itself that don't even touch those. So they're completely separate from that.
Like the Harry Osborn missions, or like I caught all the birds, but like if you hadn't caught all the birds or stuff yet, like
nope, none in there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. They have their own. They have their own things. For lack of a better term. But it's so funny to me because like it's so familiar because of course I was a huge super Spidey nerd. And so about the story to this point, it's fine. Like it's cool to see the interact in a way that's very familiar and also very fresh at the same time because Jesus, Erica Lindbeck who plays Black Cat and of course Yuri Lowenthal who plays Spidey are just chemistry wise, and Laura Bailey, of course, as MJ is like playing this, like, of course, very different MJ, but also very familiar in the fact that like she's like, wait, like what? She did what? And like it's this interesting like triangle of craziness.
Where would you, real quick? Where would you? 2 questions. Where would you rank this side? Like, where would you rank Spider-Man, the video game, all time? And is it not the best Stan Lee cameo?
So, second question first. Absolutely, yes. Sidebar. I would highly recommend if you have, especially the Universal Pass, going to the Spider-Man ride. They have an incredible tribute to Stan Lee within line queue. It's awesome. I won't spoil it. I took a picture of it. I'm not going to post it. I recommend that. Where it ranks all time. Whew, like it's tough because there's how I personally feel about it and how like good of a game it is. Like from a critical standpoint, like it's one of my favorite games of all time. Like an emotional chord in the way that I should have seen coming, but like did and like just so brilliant. It's awesome. I would comfortably put it in my top 10 games of all time. But critically acclaimed standpoint, probably somewhere in the 20s, I would assume. There. But at the end of it, it is a gaming experience I will never, ever, ever forget.
I'd put Me not being as big of a Spider-Man fan, so I have like a less biased barometer for it.
Sure.
I'd probably put it in my top 5 all time.
Wow. I get it.
Honestly, like it floored me, man. Like there, as far as like the only real thing that bothered me control wise, like if you're like, hey, I need to get to that thing. Honestly, the opposite of Red Dead. Like, I need to get to that thing 5 feet away, and you just jump 20 feet over it, and then you jump.
I agree.
Back.
I agree. Yeah, that's what sucks. Yeah.
Like, from a technical standpoint, like that was the only thing. Like if when I was bitching in the chat, and I was like, and I'm like, this game's fucking hard, and one of you was like, get good, and I'm like,
that's probably
yeah, whatever. And then you get good at the game, and you're like, and you're swinging through, and it's like, oh well, there's this going on over there. Well, I'm gonna go solve it, and then like, oh, there's 15 guys. Okay, especially like when you get to the later, what's the armored guys with the jetpack? What are they called?
no idea.
Silver Sable guys.
Yeah.
Some of those later ones when it's just like wave 1 through 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Those get hard, and like you literally have to be like, okay, I have to be like the most badass Spider-Man. Whereas like Arkham felt similar in a way that you were like, okay, I have to be a badass, but like it still felt like even Arkham at times, even when you were overwhelmed, felt like a little cheap, or the controls are a little this or that. With Spider-Man, it was like, no, you have to be good, like you, Spider-Man would be to beat those guys. Like, I don't know, it's probably my top, and that's for reference. Like in my top 5 all time, like the oldest game is probably like 15 years old.
Oh, really?
This is crept in, and it's I love it. I think it's just
like
the best example of a system seller I've seen in years and years and years.
Agreed. And like comic fans need to play that game. Like that's how good it is. It is very strong too, even if you're not a Spider-Man fan. I'd even to add to that, like the difference I think between Batman and Spider-Man in that regard is you for your improv in a way that like the best way to explain it is it rewards you for being Spider-Man.
Yep.
Spider-Man. And like really late in the game when you unlock the ability to, like, if you dodge, and as you dodge, if you hit it perfect, and you web somebody, and then you hit triangle and you finish that person. Like, I didn't even know I had that, and it blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh shit! All right, that changes everything. Like, and then it just continues to reward. It's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why I'm really excited if the guy who directed Sunset Overdrive makes a game similar on the Microsoft consoles, then man, that's going to be great. Am I right, my homies?
Wouldn't that be great if it was like a 5.4 and Josh Asensio gets to eat some fucking crow? That'd be so fun.
I will eat that crow. I have no I have no problem eating crow.
You're right.
Worst Ninja Turtles game of all time. Talk about a pizza bet.
I don't know, man. Nothing can really beat the fighter game that they came out with. You know what I'm talking about? The Street Fighter Ninja Turtles game?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. It was an exclusive for SNES, if I recall.
It was garbage. It was terrible. It was awesome.
It was fantastic. Yep. It was great.
Was that before you knew what good games were, or when you were like justifying spending $80 on a crappy game by fooling yourself into thinking it was good?
I don't recall Super Nintendo being $80.
I mean, that one might have been. I don't know.
Oh.
Sure.
It might have been.
Anyway, but I would like to add, Southern is not the only game I've been playing. I mentioned earlier, I've been playing Hollow Knight. Lewis actually recommended to me.
Actually, Brandon recommended to you a long time ago.
I don't pay attention, man.
He's been talking about that game for since you were talking about Celeste, and nobody listened to him.
Well,
so Hollow Knight, and I really like it. And yeah, it's a really good game. It kind of makes you feel. It makes you feel certain things, and I like to feel certain things when I play games.
That's awesome. That's a great impression of him.
That is the best impression of Brandon I've ever heard in my life.
That's awesome. That's so
Oh, Brandon, how's your day going? Oh, I'm just really super stoked because I got a speeding ticket on the way home.
I want you to record my voicemail as Brandon.
This is Josh.
Oh my god, that was so good. Okay.
Love you, Brandon. Love
Oh
you,
yeah,
Brandon.
this is with love. Of course, it's with love.
Of course, always. This game nails atmosphere in a way that so like satisfying. Like it's on PS4. It actually I think it's really cheap right now, so pick it up.
It's on Switch too.
$7.99 on PS4.
Yeah. I kind of wish I bought it on Switch. I bought it on PS4 because it has all the DLC with it. I wish I could play it on the go because that's how good that game is. It nails music, very dark, but not in a way that's heavy. Really nails atmosphere in a way that, like I said,
Right.
that I didn't expect.
So tell me real quick, what is it about the gameplay that you like? Because I downloaded it on my special Switch and I really wanted to like it. I was really excited to play it, and like I sit down with this thing and I'm like I'm going at this game because I've heard so many great things, and I stopped after like 20 minutes. I'm like, this is not my game.
Gotcha. I think because I'm still pretty early on, but I think for me,
Coffee in the game. That's probably why.
What?
what did you say?
Because you don't get to sit there and make coffee in the game.
Fair.
That's what it is.
Fair.
So yeah, you definitely I haven't made coffee yet. I'll update you if that changes. But I think the combat is initially deceptively very simple. It's because it's very Metroidvania in that from a genre perspective as well as with the combat. You got to nail timing or you die. It's very Dark Souls in that way. So it's very punishing, and in the same way that if you die, you got to go back and get all of your items and stuff back. But it does it in a way that it's still very satisfying when you go over that hump. I didn't really care for Dark Souls because I felt it was punishing for the sake of being punishing. Dark Souls is without being super overpowering, and the fact that you can pretty much go as much as it allows you to, and it gets very, very deep, is really satisfying too. I think it's worth a second look for you.
All right. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Oh, there is also one other game that I just started playing. I played about 2 minutes of it, and then I'm like, I gotta get ready for the podcast. And that is a little game that I know Chris would really enjoy. It's called The World Ends With You.
Yes! 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 I win!
Chris, it's from the same maker as Persona. Just so you know. And
It's actually Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. I thought it was
Nope.
Persona.
Kingdom Hearts. It is Tetsuya Nomura game.
Oh, okay. Well, it has a very Persona feel to it, and it is good so far. In the 2 minutes
man.
I've been playing, I love the music. You were absolutely Jacob. You were telling me about that music. You fucking nailed it, man. Ooh, goddamn, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I never saw it coming. I never saw it
Hey,
coming.
that's what you did there. I'm very curious to see your upcoming impressions on it as you move forward. It is a phenomenal game.
Well, I beat. What?
Oh,
So
God.
good that
I'm watching gameplay now. That is not my speed whatsoever.
That was the joke, Chris. That was the joke.
Hey,
but
lots of reading. Lots of reading.
Yeah, there is lots of reading. It's crap. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I beat Pokemon and I beat Diablo, so I needed a new game to start, and this has my full undivided attention.
question was when you beat Pokemon, was it as satisfying as when you beat it the first time, many moons ago, 20 years ago?
All right, so it's a weird question to answer because I already knew how the game was going to go because it's Pokemon Yellow. So there's this kind of fun thing as you're playing the game. Like, I know exactly where I'm going the entire time. I remember what the next city is going to be like. And then you go into that city, you're like, oh, wow, it all looks different because it's, it's just a little bit different, but it's also still kind of the same. So I get to the end of the game and, you beat the Elite Four, and I'm pretty sure they even all say the exact same things. There's a couple little extra changes because they had to. I'm not going to spoil anything. There's actually a lot of really interesting changes that they make to this game. Mm-hmm. Try your hardest not to look up anything. Try to distance yourself from that because there's these little things that happen like, oh God, I can't believe they. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah. But so I get to the end, get to the Elite Four. I have almost all the Pokemon. I have like 149. Mew, you need to get a Pokemon ball, a Pokeball Plus thing, and I don't have that. Mewtwo is obviously after Elite Four, and then, but I did all the trading thing through the Pokemon Go, mobile game, which is also really cool how that works. Sure. Yeah. So I beat the Elite Four. I go to get Mewtwo. Of course, I use the Master Ball on it. There is a small change. You don't beat down Pokemon within an inch of their life and then throw a ball at them. The legendary Pokemon, you have to completely defeat them, and then you go into the ball catching, throwing thing. So I throw the Master Ball, and I got Mewtwo. And then there's 3, I'm not going to say what it is, but there's 3 trainers you can fight after that. Yeah. And I fought... Huh? Already. Oh, you already know already?
Yeah, but it's exciting. It's
okay.
Cool.
So I fought 2 out of 3 of them because the third one you could only
tell me who they are. I don't want to. Don't tell me who they are. I don't want
to. Nice.
Watch it. I'll start talking about Persona 5. We can go on and on. We haven't done our spoiler cast of that, okay? We still could. We have a lot to say about it.
That's true.
Okay.
Can't wait.
But it's the. I'm sure you heard about it. I hate using this term. The Pokemon Master quest to be a Pokemon Master.
Sure. That's
not something I really want to go into, and I was really disappointed because it sounded awesome. Oh my god, 151 challenges, and it's all focusing on specific Pokemon, and then I read that it's like level 70 some odd Pokemon. So you're telling me I have to level up 151 fucking Pokemon to level 70? No. So that's the thing. All of a sudden, I thought I had way more left in this game. All of a sudden, it's just done. Game done. And I look around, I'm like, I have nothing else to catch. I have nothing else to do. The game is over.
That sounds like the best part of the game is when it's over.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I was looking forward to playing more of the game. And I honestly am looking forward to playing it again. Because I feel like Pokemon's one of those games where you can just almost immediately go right back and let's just do it all again. Do it from the beginning. And I found out that it was co-op, single switch co-op, after I beat the game.
That's sad face.
And the worst part is, I'm on my honeymoon right now. We've been on some long-ass flights. That would have been really nice to play with my wife, some Pokemon, and I completely missed out on that. So...
I bet that feels good to say wife though.
Yeah, it does.
Honeymoon, you shouldn't be wanting to poke anyone.
Hey.
Oh, there's the puns. You did it.
Oh God.
Gotta
catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
With that, I think that's it. I think we did it, guys.
Huh? 20 questions?
Oh, that's right. So, before hold on.
That's why I'm here.
Hold on. Before we go into that, before we go into that, I want to say a sincere thank you to both of you. Jacob, I know you were late to my wedding.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you forgot. I genuinely thought you forgot, and then you told me about your day and the awful day you're having, and you still came out to the wedding. Sincerely, thank you. That was very sweet. It made me very happy to have you there. I love you, buddy. Chris is leaving. I was about to thank him.
The nicely done. That's really good. Really done.
Chris, when the ceremony's done and Jamie and I are walking to the beach, I look over and I see a speaker. I'm like, I know that speaker. And I look at her, she's smiling at me. I'm like, you got the Chris Stanton to play at our wedding? I didn't know, Jacob. I didn't know. It was a surprise. So happy, so thankful to have you do that. Sincerely thankful. And I love you. And because you guys were so awesome at my wedding, I have a gift for both of you.
Oh, no.
We're not doing video game 20 questions.
Yeah! I have reached Nirvana. Thank God. Jesus Christ. I win. The new record. 0. Bam.
Sucks, man. This
What?
sucks.
Were you looking forward to that?
Forward to it. It's my favorite thing.
Well, I could do it. I could do it with just you if you want.
I think Jacob should do it. I think I should do it.
I was gonna say I didn't pick a game because I didn't have enough time all of a sudden, because you guys let me know 15 minutes before we were gonna start that you guys were gonna join, so I had to spend all that time getting ready. I wasn't gonna do video game 20 questions with myself.
I got a game right now.
You're thinking of a game right now?
Right now, let's do it. I'll do it for both of you.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
I got to keep count.
All right. You're keeping count?
Man, I was so close to the finish line. And then
First of all, here's the thing. I'm pulling several ranks here. I'm pulling co-podcast creator rank. I'm pulling showed up at wedding on time rank, and I'm pulling played the wedding for free rank. So we're gonna do what I want to do right now, bitches.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully she didn't tell you. Look, I want to get into that. Never mind. That's off. That's off.
We'll talk about it off air talk. Yeah.
I hope Jamie didn't tell you that she shelled out like $300 for me to play.
Oh my God.
She didn't. I totally offered. She asked me to do it. Let's talk about that for a second because I didn't get to say anything.
Sure.
So what's funny about that is that so she asked me to do it, and I was like, of course. And she was like, what would you charge? And I was like, nothing. And what? And I was like, now I know you guys live in this realm of like I'm not being I don't know the word sarcastic, but like you guys make your money on your living on like doing things like that, like hosting events or DJing or whatever. So it's unfathomable to her for me to be like I'm gonna play for an hour at your wedding, of course. And she's like, what? So I thought that was flattering, but the struggle for me was, and this is the truth, like I couldn't. It was juggling like talking about going to the wedding versus talking about playing at the wedding. I didn't tell anybody I was playing except for, I think, your squire, and so like he was like the last person. He's like, "You're going to the wedding, right?" And I was like, "No," because I was like, I was basically like a hard no because I wanted to completely be a surprise. So I was like, "No, yeah."
Wait, you broke up there. What after you said no, what did you say?
It was funny because I wanted to be a surprise. I was basically telling everyone I wasn't going to your wedding, even though they knew I was invited. So I was like, no, I'm not going. No, what are you talking about? I'm not going. Well, you were invited though. Yeah. Well, why aren't you going? Oh, well, okay, I'll go. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like spoil. I'd be like, well, I'm actually playing, and whatever. Which
yeah.
He and Brandon were completely helpful loading my gear in from 400 yards away, which was really nice. But anyway, I just thought that was funny because it was a weird thing for me. Like, okay, who knows I'm playing and who doesn't, and who can I say that I'm even going? And anyway, it was a whole thing. So
yeah, it was a pretty amazing surprise.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Start.
Yeah, ask questions.
Did this
We're
game?
out of time. We gotta go.
Did this game? I know, right? No, we're gonna do 2 fucking hours. We're gonna do 2 hours. Oh shit! I forgot to change the cameras. There we go. We're gonna do 2 fucking hours. There we go. Okay.
Here's the thing: if you know the way that I play,
I know.
then you should be able to get it fairly quickly. It's not that hard.
Did this game come out after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay.
Did
it
this
come out
Go on.
during the Super Nintendo blah 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 generation?
No.
Did it come out for the N64 generation?
Blah blah blah.
No.
Did it come out for the NES generation?
Yes.
Is it an NES game?
Is it an NES exclusive?
No, I'm saying did it come out for the NES?
I mean,
That would be the same, right? Or are you saying did it only come out for the NES, or was it on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Was it on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Yes.
Okay. Because, I mean, there's a lot of games that came out, like, multi-console in there that I don't know if they were multi-console. So if I at least know that it's Nintendo, that's going to help me out.
You're just not
come out on
playing.
the Atari 2600 now.
Yeah. You're at 5 questions.
Okay.
Uh,
Is this a platformer? Platform optional.
Yeah, I would say
you be careful with this. I swear to God.
85% of it, yes. I would say 85% of it, yes.
85% platformer. So what the fuck up? So like a platform. What the fuck?
Well. I would say 65%, yes.
Jesus Christ! What?
Oh my God. Do you play as a human?
Yeah.
Link is not a human.
It's not. It's not. I am 99.9% sure yes. If it's not, you're not going to go at all. So I would say yes.
Okay, got it.
So it's not like Bomberman or Mega Man then.
Yeah, because Mega Man's a robot, and Bomberman is a robot.
Bomberman is not human. Bomberman's not human. Look at that man.
I'm looking on the Wikipedia page now, and it does not specify that it is not human. However, every indication points to human. So I would say yes.
Is it shot in the dark? Platformer 65%. Play as a human. Do you
I was gonna ask if you want to shoot if your character shoots a gun.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, does your character shoot a gun?
Yes.
Oh,
So like Contra maybe? Contra?
7 questions.
let's see.
If I'm
You're keeping track.
I mean that's it could be.
So, the thing is if it's Contra, he wouldn't say 99.9%. I mean, that's clearly a fucking human in Contra. I don't
know, man. You can do a lot of pretty crazy, amazing things in Contra.
Shoot a gun.
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid didn't come out on the NES.
Yes, it did.
Metal Gear did. Metal Gear Solid.
Sorry, yeah, Metal Gear. Yeah, Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid.
So it something because I'm feeling
What'd you say?
froggy. No, you go ahead.
I feel like Jacob is on the right track, even that's not with anything. It's just gut feeling. I think.
Can you turn into a ball?
No.
Oh, like okay, that was good. Yeah. Ooh. Why don't we ask if it takes place on Earth?
Oh, good question.
Does this game take place on Earth as we know it? Not like oh yeah, that can kind of, you could take that as Earth, like an actual Earth. Like Contra takes place on Earth.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Because in my mind, the last 3 questions we ruled out Castlevania, Metroid, and Contra. in my mind.
We've basically just ruled out every military shooter because they're all on Earth and stuff.
But
So it's not Metal Gear. It's not Rambo. It's not any of those.
it doesn't take place on Earth,
Huh?
which is fact, right? The answer to the question, does it take place on Earth was no, correct, Chris?
Correct.
Okay. Shit. And I mean, definitely not Duck Hunt.
It's a kind of platformer.
That's what. Yeah. So you have a gun.
Let's nail that down because that's confusing as fuck.
Right, because that's because I was leaning towards Castlevania. I almost asked if it was made by Konami. The gun. Damn.
Maybe what is it about it that wouldn't be a platformer? Maybe it's like a vehicle. You hop in a vehicle.
Or like there's RPG stuff, which doesn't really make sense to me. The question is how to narrow it down. Because initially I was like, is it Japanese made? Is it America? But I don't think that really helps us at all.
No.
You're on 9 questions, so you got plenty.
Okay.
9.
9. Let's see. So we're done. 65% platformer. NES. What the fuck? Let's see.
65%. I would say so. I mean, don't hinge. Definitely. It's not. It's the. I would say the majority of it is platform. When you think about playing the game, platform. However, there are points in the game that will vividly pop out in your mind where you're like, definitely not a platformer.
Okay. So there's a different mode maybe. Let's see. Yeah.
Do you want to ask if it's based on a license? Or no, even better. If this is a series that still is like making games, like it's still like current.
I mean, but if that's the case, it's probably made by Nintendo, right? You think that'd be fair?
That's fairly fair, yeah.
Was it designed or published by Nintendo?
9.
A 9. All right, yeah, I'd say that's fair to rule that out about current stuff.
Good question.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Of course, the one time I don't want to play more than any, I'm actually decent at it. Okay. Let's see. So, not designed or published.
So it's definitely not like Zelda. It's not.
Nope. Not that there's a gun in NES to think of. I mean, not that it's a bow and arrow.
And you shoot a gun. That's the thing, right? You shoot a gun. So what?
Is there? Because okay, so it doesn't take place on Earth. Is there go back to your point about vehicles, right? I'm thinking because you're not a human, right? But what kind of games I'm thinking of the Ikarugas and the Galagas of the world, right? Who do?
Wait. You call it Galaga?
Yeah, Galaga, whatever.
Okay.
Ikaruga fucked my shit up. That's what happened.
Scared me right there, man. Oh my God.
Okay. NES. Fuckity shit. This is an interesting one.
This is a good one. It's either going to be a really good one, or I'm going to be so fucking pissed at you.
It's a really good one, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
Shoot.
You do shoot.
The combination is really interesting because, all right, so platformer-ish, shoots a gun. You are human, not made by Nintendo. Shit ton of games.
Do you want to find out if it's like a laser gun, if it's like sci-fi at all?
Sure, we can confirm that. Yeah or nay? Sure.
Is this the gun that you shoot?
This is a sci-fi.
Okay, yeah. Is this a sci-fi heavy sci-fi game? I would say like not just light sci-fi. Like Pokemon would be light sci-fi. It, yeah. Is it more than 65% sci-fi?
I would say yes.
Okay. All right. So like a game like Mega Man or a game like Metroid.
Oh, okay. NES, shooter-ish, or at least you shoot a gun.
Yeah. You shoot a gun. It's sci-fi-ish, so it could be like a laser gun.
Yeah, but what game is that?
Did we? How did we? Did we rule out Contra? We did. We did. Yeah.
Because
it takes place on Earth.
right. Confirm that Contra takes place on Earth, right? I think it does. I don't even remember or not. Because you could but there's no switch to where it wouldn't be a platformer. It's a platformer with guns, right? You jump and you shoot shit.
Ooh.
Oh.
Should we ask if this came out on the NES Classic?
Hang on. Wait, hold on. You just said something.
Yes. That's a good question. That would narrow down.
I would not consider Contra to be 100% a platformer.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Don't go. You want to ask that question?
Did this game come out on the NES Classic? Oh, you broke up. What? I didn't hear your answer. What was it? No. Okay. All right. Well, it's not Contra then.
Yeah. I ruled it out for sure now. But
so hold on. Just think about what I just said. I'm gonna grab a beer. Consider Contra. Nor, if you think about it, would you consider Contra to be 100% a platformer?
Right. What do you think?
You would though. Okay, hold on. So now we're getting into like. Now it could be something like Mega Man.
But Mega Man's a robot. He's not human.
Does Chris know that?
He doesn't. I'm really upset. Like really upset about it. I'm gonna.
What did he say?
That I don't know what he said. Okay. So it's so funny. We've reached out so much. Okay. And the problem is I can't.
So it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like a Contra type game where you shoot a gun, and you're like platforming. You're like jumping on platforms while shooting, like Mega Man, like things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. I have a good question. Chris, does this game? Wrong camera. Does this game have a gameplay style similar to Contra? Like Mega Man, like those kind of games. Like it's running and shooting.
In the 2D, because obviously it's NES, it's not 3D.
Right.
If you're in the 2D realm of there being that you can run, that you can jump, and that you can shoot things, yes, I would say it's in the same vein of a Contra or a Mega Man or whatever you just mentioned.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So
don't be married to that. You guys thought of a question a while ago that you didn't actually ask. That would help a lot.
God damn it.
Okay.
License. You want to ask about license?
Go for it.
Is this game based on a license?
It is not.
Well, fuck me then.
All right. I say good day.
All right. So I mean, we don't it's not necessarily exactly like.
Hold on. So you got 15 questions.
Wow, that jumped up really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9-15.
So do you want, since there's no chat, do you want me to give you a hint? I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint. It's like a chat hint.
Okay. What kind of the question?
And then if you can't get it based off of this, then I will ask the question that you should be asking as the chat hint. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That I will give you from my perspective and from reviewers' perspectives and from I guess, NES owners' perspectives. This might not have been in the top tier of like you have to like a Contra or a Mario 3 or a whatever. Like everyone owns it. It's the tier below of like it's not SNES, it's not NES classic worthy, but it's if they made like 5 more games for it would be in there.
His blob.
It's not obscure. It's definitely not obscure. You've definitely heard of it. You definitely know what it is. And if you figured out what it is right now, you're gonna go, fuck, how do we not know that?
So do you shoot in Kid Icarus?
Not a gun.
Oh god. No, gotta rule that out first.
But I like where you're going.
Think about
it.
Did you ask the is it sci-fi element question?
Yes, we did.
You said more than 65%.
That was
Huh?
That was the platforming question. Did you ask is it sci-fi? Or
yes.
Did you?
Yes, we did. And I was making the joke about the 65%, but you said that it is sci-fi.
This isn't sci-fi.
That's fair. I'm just shooting blanks. Yeah.
Do you want me to give you the hint?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you drive a vehicle? Yes.
Luckily, it's
Or can you? Yes.
Okay.
Significant part of the gameplay, as much as the ball in Metroid is. Think game, instead of turning into a ball, you get into a vehicle.
What about Metal Slug? Was that for NES?
Ooh, it was.
No, it was Neo Geo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Neo Geo and Genesis. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, that game was awesome. Holy Toledo.
All right. I wanted to ask that too. I wanted to ask about the vehicles, and I couldn't think of a game with vehicles like at all for NES because it was so limited.
Yeah. It's God. That like
this in a way, but like Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40, IGN a 9.0 out of 10, Mean Machines gave it a 91%.
Wow.
It got great reviews. I guarantee you someone listening to this or watching this already knows what it is.
I'm sure. Man. Like, man.
Oh my god, I feel so
dumb.
dumb.
My Super Nintendo knowledge is far superior to my Nintendo knowledge for sure.
Okay, so you play as human, and
let's roll back.
Shoot, yeah.
Because we know something we didn't ask is if it's come out for other platforms.
That's true.
Go for it.
Yeah. Has it been re-released on other platforms?
No. So
that's very interesting.
No. Hold on. Just looking on the Wikipedia page, it says it was released in Japan, North America, and then PAL. Now, PAL is a television publication that covers Asia. Okay, so basically, saying re-released, no.
Okay.
But it was released in Europe 3 years after its initial release in the States. So
it's different. Yeah.
It's not a I just want to be clear. Yeah.
But now we know it came out for PAL. That was a freebie. Way to go, guys.
Let me read this paragraph.
Yeah, sure.
All right, hold on. So technically, I didn't know this. So technically, of the original game, not going to say the title, was released. I'll go ahead and tell you this. Was released in 2010. I did not know that. So the answer technically is yes. I wasn't aware of that.
To whatever platform, 2010.
That sounds like Virtual Console.
But it's not, because that's two. That's way. Oh!
That sounds like Virtual Console.
Yeah, because it'd be for the Wii, right?
Yep.
Wow.
But
You
that's
wanna
not
ask
going to
that-
help because a billion games came to Virtual Console.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I still focus on this. You can in a Nintendo game, you can
Yeah.
get in a vehicle. Do you want to figure out what kind of vehicle? Because I feel like that would help me.
Like a car versus a spaceship.
Or
like
yeah,
we know-
spaceship.
but it's sci-fi. Like,
And I swear to God, this is
flying-
like Paperboy, and you're like, yeah, you shoot newspapers or something.
but it's not sci-fi. It was not sci-fi.
Paperboy takes place on Earth. Clearly,
Right.
you're not delivering the New York Times to Mars.
I've
Yeah,
never
right.
seen I've never seen an Earth that looks like that street. Like that is the longest street I've ever seen in my entire
That's
life.
the longest street of all time. Bro, 16 questions?
About yeah.
Sure. We'll go for that. Wow. That's so crazy.
I would give you the the developer view just because they develop so many games.
Itself.
I don't know if that would help you.
Because, like, that's what's fascinating about it is, like, it's not a Nintendo published game, but it hit.
That'd be like me saying it was. That'd be like me saying it was made by Acclaim. It wasn't made by Acclaim, but like
Right.
that doesn't really narrow it down.
No. Man. What the fuck?
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
All right. I gotta ask. Do you get in a vehicle that makes sense as far as vehicles you can get in real life? Like, do you like hop into a plane or something that wouldn't make sense to just hop into a plane and now you're flying? Do you get into a vehicle that makes sense?
In my opinion, no. In my opinion, the vehicle that you get in does not exist in real life.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
okay. So like a hover bike or like a spaceship, a fancy, cool, weird looking spaceship, or like a submarine, or
Something like that.
I'll give you a massive. I don't know if it's gonna be a massive hint, but I'll specify. I'll go ahead and give you and specify what the vehicle is
Okay.
based on Wikipedia.
All right.
It says.
I feel like this is gonna give it away.
Academy, blah blah blah. A satellite orbiting, blah 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 blah. This planet. To avoid this invasion, they built a weapon, an all-purpose tank called the Metal Attacker. Didn't know it was called the Metal Attacker, but that's what it's an all-purpose. I would look at it and not consider it necessarily a tank. It's got tank-esque qualities. Amazing. You guys don't have it yet. Oh my gosh.
Man. Yeah.
I feel like I feel like this is, what is that game? The Bouncer that Brandon came up with, or somebody. Jacob, you came up with that. The Bouncer?
Yeah.
Wasn't that you?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
This is gonna be a Bouncer situation where it's all of a sudden like, no, I don't know what the fuck that game is. Like,
You guys have got to know what this game is. There's no way. I know I'm a little bit older than you, but you've got to know.
Oh my god.
You get into a tank.
If Nintendo, I'll put it this way: if Nintendo on a Nintendo Direct released footage like, here's the new version of this, like here's the sequel,
Yeah.
the internet would pop.
Yeah.
Didn't you just say that Earth?
Yep.
You said Earth, something about Earth. In that description, didn't you just say Earth? That you're Earth's defender?
But
No, the Science Academy of Nora, a satellite orbiting near the planet that you're on.
Oh, okay. The name of the game is the planet you're on. I bet you that's the name of the game. Because he won't say the name of the planet. That's the name of the game.
I'll go ahead and say that's not true.
Yeah, give us another hint. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, so while it's the reason why it's, I would say 65% a platformer is because obviously part of the game you drive a vehicle.
Sure.
Hint to that would be you also drive the vehicle in a platforming way. In the same way that you platform. if that makes sense. And like, take the ball in
Yeah.
Metroid,
Yeah.
switches to a different perspective in a more top-down / isometric kind of way.
But sci-fi doesn't take place on Earth.
So think Ninja Turtles, right? It's not Ninja Turtles, but think Ninja Turtles. How like, yeah, of course it's a platformer, but then you go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
The game you spend walking around the city in like a top-down kind of isometric kind of way.
Yeah.
I would say a good 25% of this game you spend in that perspective.
Wow. All right.
Doesn't help you guys at all, does it?
Not one bit. You're
Not
gonna
really.
say this
Not
game,
one.
and I'm just You just described the game, and I cannot imagine a single game that is like that.
Yeah, like you literally put together the.
You told us gameplay, everything about it. You are in a tank and you shoot laser guns at fucking aliens because you're the Nora fucking Defense Force or whatever. Is it Earth Defense Force? I don't fucking know. No, because it's not a goddamn Earth, Chris.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I don't know. Like, you just described the game exactly. You broke down. Okay, yeah, you're an elf and you're in the woods and you've got a sword and you gotta cut down shrubbery. And what game is this? I don't fuck.
No. Wow. Yeah. It's how many questions are we on? 18 or something? 17? Who knows anymore? God damn it.
Yeah. We're at this point. You want me to give it to you?
I kind of want you to give it to me. I kind of want you to give it to me, like I don't know. It's up to Jacob.
I'm so stubborn. I'm so goddamn stubborn.
It's Sim City.
God damn it.
Isometric tank thing.
I'm almost wondering
that you can get out of the tank. You can get out of the tank.
Yep.
What's interesting is have we, because it came out on NES, right? Been on it came out again in 2010. We never thought about the fact that it could have come out on different systems earlier than the NES. Ish. Like if it came out on like PC or I don't know, Commodore 64.
I was gonna say how many games came out on PC that came out on Nintendo?
I'd imagine a good bit. Not that it was fucking out. God. Fuck. Yeah. I don't have anything. I'd say give it to me.
You just did a thing. You just posted a thing on there. What is this going to?
Blaster Master. Yeah, I would have never got this.
What?
I never fucking played that, Chris. I never fucking played that.
I would never in my wildest dreams have picked. But I see what you're talking about. There's you definitely are in a vehicle and platform in the vehicle.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. And I'm sure there were so many people who are listening later who are like, these two fucking morons that.
I don't know, man.
You just described Blaster Master perfectly, and yeah.
I don't know about that, but
what do you know about that?
I said I don't know about all that. I don't think so.
What do you mean?
You described Blaster Master. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you're saying
I don't think anybody would have got it.
I totally think so.
I think everybody. I think everybody would have gotten it, Jacob. I think that we just blew it.
No, I'm gonna fucking stake into the ground on that one. I don't
really
think
not
so.
familiar. You're really not familiar with Blaster Master?
Really not familiar with Blaster Master.
I know it by reputation and title alone.
Oh, you poor soul.
It's like right there as far as my gaps of video game knowledge. It's right there with like Power Stone. Like it's just like things I should know that I don't know.
That's sad. That's sad right there.
Like I know Master Blaster from Mad Max.
That's true.
I know.
I'm just showing my age. I'm showing my age now, man. I'm just older than you guys.
You fucking old Sam. but it sounds like something I should have played. So did it come out for? Actually, I'm gonna look.
It got re-released on Virtual Console, right?
Yeah, on WiiWare Virtual Console. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Holy shit. Then I probably should have played it.
All right. And with that does it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Nobody was watching right now. Thank you so much for watching maybe later in the video that I upload. You can watch almost every Sunday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook.com/DownrideFierceGaming, YouTube.com/DownrideFierceGaming, and Twitch.tv/DRFPodcast. You can listen to the audio episodes every Monday on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and Stitcher. Now, next week, I'm going to be in New York, so there will be, Oh, no, that's right. Next week. Okay, so next week is tricky. I'm going to... No, next week is Iceland.
Oh.
So I'm going to be in Iceland, and I'm going to be... Is that the day that we... It's going to be complicated, so I don't know if I will have the energy because it's 5 hours... It's 5 hours earlier than it is Eastern Standard Time. So basically, I'm going to be like, I would have to start recording at 1:30, and I've been going to bed at like 10 and 11 lately. So I will try. And if not, I will do it the day before, or the day after, or I'll figure something out. And an episode will go up next week. Guarantee it. If it's live, that'll be awesome. If not, it'll happen.
It'll be.
It will be a thing. Other plugs that I don't have a printer with all the sheets in front of. You can buy a t-shirt if you so choose at teespring.com/downrightfierce something. Downright Fierce, Downright Fierce Gaming, I don't know. Don't buy a t-shirt. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Don't fucking buy a t-shirt. You have so many better things to spend your money on. Just go buy Pokemon. Just do it. But one thing that you could spend your money on that would go to a good spot would be patreon.com/downrightfiercegaming or Downright Fierce, whichever one it is. That's where you can give us a couple dollars a month, and you get all of our exclusive content 1 week earlier before everybody else, and you get thanked at the end of the episode. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield. Thank you, Mark Mayfield.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. We want to thank Tristan Haynes.
Thank you, Tristan
Haynes. We want to thank Damon Hadfield, MC Lars, and Brian Altana for letting us use their music.
Thank you.
And we want to thank our executive producers, Brian Kizmetsky, Carolina Jarvis, and Andrew Kirkendall.
Base kicker.
That was today.
Seriously, guys, this was a lot of fun. I miss you guys so much, and I hope you come visit in St. Pete soon, and at least check out the new studio.
You're shitting the fucking...
I know, buddy.
You know what? And congratulations again on the wedding, and I'm so proud of you, and I got to be there for it, and then I'm such a good friend that I was there on time.
Total cunt, that one.
Hey, you know what? Autograph. Where is it?
It's about 10 feet away from me right now.
You got some cardboard? You know where the post office is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'll slide into your DM and send me my address. Whatever I'm all right, love you guys.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. We'll see you next week. Good night. Peace.
See you.